So let's talk about the five big advantages the S24 has over pretty much every other Android phone and even the iPhone. Let's go ahead and take a look. So the first big advantage that the Galaxy S24 has is going to be its overall size. Android phones and phones in general are just so huge nowadays. The only small phones that people could get now are found in flagships, but the S24 is probably the smallest flagship you could get. It is shorter, thinner, and just overall lighter, really lighter than other phones out there. When you compare it to the Pixel 9, you compare it to the iPhone. I mean, that's something that really sets it apart from other devices out there. Every other Android phone out there, mid-range or budget, it's going to be a gigantic phone. And me personally, I rather have a compact device that's easy to hold in the hand without fumbling, stretching your fingers. And also when it's in your pocket, you don't need a gigantic phone to do most of the things we do on the phone. If you want something big, you might as well just get a tablet or wait till you get home. So the overall size of the S24 really sets it apart right off the bat. The next big advantage the S24 has over all other flagships and phones is going to be its extremely thin bezels. Now, that has been the one constant theme of Android phones ever since their inception, is going from chunky, thick bezels all the way to getting really razor thin bezels. And that's the only way that you're gonna make these phones a manageable size, but create a bigger overall screen. And this is comparing it to the Pixel, comparing it to iPhones. You have a super thin bezel, which just makes the phone feel so futuristic. It's like you have nothing but glass in front of your face, nothing but screen. And it's just visually appealing to have all that screen real estate in such a small package. The next huge advantage the S24 has is simply being a Samsung phone. And by that I mean that you have a lot of extras that are exclusive to Samsung UI. So you do have the newest version of Android, in this case Android 14, but you are getting a lot more than just Android 14. You're getting special things that are only offered through Samsung. I can name a whole mess of them, but just a few come to mind right away. For example, off the top of my head, you're going to get like the stackable widgets. You could scroll right through them. You could have you go swipe to the side and you have like the extra apps that are on the side that you could pick from, like a sidebar. You have a kids mode if you want to pass the phone off to your kids and they don't have to access any of your personal apps or files. There's just so many things that are only offered on Samsung. You have its own camera gallery. You basically have a lot of options. Samsung will offer you a lot of different sets of apps from themselves, from Samsung. And also, if you don't like them, you don't use them, you could always go to Google's offerings. This is a lot more options than, say, stock version of Android from Motorola or Pixel. And also the other versions of Android skins, such as from OnePlus, they're not going to offer the same stuff that Samsung offers. So you're pretty much getting a lot of flexibility, a lot more extra stuff on Samsung that you could choose which one to use. Next big advantage is having the nice camera setup on the S24. Now, Samsung is top notch in the camera department. It goes toe to toe with the Pixel series. The Pixel does use a lot of software tricks to make it nice. Samsung also uses here and there some simple tricks, but at the end of the day, you got pure sensors that'll give you a lot of the heavy lifting. But the magic of the S24 series and the S series in general is that you got 3 cameras on the back. You got the main camera, you have the ultra wide, and the one that sets this one apart from all the others is having that telephoto lens. So this is the only flagship that I know when you compare the S24, the Pixel, and the iPhone. This has that 3rd telephoto lens. All the other ones only offer the ultra wide. So if you're into zooming in a lot, or if you simply don't want to like walk up to some object or a person to get more details, that telephoto zoom will come in handy. And in general, the S24 camera is just super good. It is the standard of Android phones from the beginning. And the only thing that comes close, if not better, is the Pixel 9, but you don't have that extreme zoom with the detail. And the last big advantage the S24 has over all the other flagships is going to be Mirrorcast. And this is probably something you don't even really think about, but I do feel that Mirrorcast is one of those hidden gems. It's basically you get to mirror your screen to the TV using in my specific case a Roku. This is way different from Chromecast in the sense that you don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. This is a direct connection from the phone to the Chromecast, or the Apple TV and stuff like where it just kind of sends a signal to open up that app. No, this is an actual replica of the screen on your phone with a direct connection, and only a few companies offer it still, and the Pixel doesn't get it, the iPhone doesn't get it. This is something that's pretty much just prevalent on Samsung Galaxy devices. So that's a huge advantage, I think. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on an Apple TV, this works perfectly fine on a Roku. That Mirrorcast is really nice. And also, I do like the fact that you don't need any Wi-Fi of any kind. You could, for example, just use, if you want to see, if you don't have any Wi-Fi around, you could use Mirrorcast and use the phone's internet plan, your cellular plan, to just directly stream it to your TV without needing to be on any type of Wi-Fi. So there you have it. I believe the S24 is still one of the most underrated devices out there. We've gotten so used to having a new Galaxy S phone out there every year, but we forget just how much better, how many good advantages this phone has over other flagships like the Pixel, like the iPhone, like OnePlus. The Galaxy S24 is just an example of how consistent they are with their hardware. Samsung offers a lot with their software, and you just have pretty much the best setup with the camera as well. This is what pretty much every consumer will need in a smartphone, and it has it in one small, compact, predictable package. So those were all the advantages the S24 has over all the other flagships.